When did you realize mind your own business was no longer an option? Some neighbors are great, and others deserve life behind bars. That was the hard truth I had to learn when the new couple moved in next door last spring. They seemed perfect, sure, but behind closed doors, oh, it was a different story. It wasn't very obvious at first. The husband, Brennan, was charming and helpful, always offering to help neighbors with yard work, and his wife Angela was sweet but shy, always waving at me from her garden. But like every couple, they had their quirks. Brennan would always hang around her, not exactly helping, but almost like he was pet-sitting, making sure she wasn't acting up. And Angela always went out in dark, long-sleeved clothing, even in 90-degree heat. "She's always cold," Brennan would tell people, and she'd smile and nod along. But that Tuesday, when I went to the nail salon, Angela sat beside me with giant sunglasses and thick makeup, caked even heavier around her jaw. "Hey, how are ya?" I greeted. She immediately got defensive. "Things are great. They're always great, so why are you asking?" I just smiled and went back to chatting with my nail artist. When Angela left, the artist clicked her tongue, shaking her head. "Poor girl. What do you mean?" I asked. "I've seen it before with my Auntie Carla. That makeup, the flinching whenever someone laughed. Oh yeah, her husband is definitely hitting her." Everyone in the salon paused at her words. That's when I started putting two and two together. Everything that had seemed out of place, like the crying sounds at night, the muffled arguing through the walls when I did my midnight jogs, the way she always covered up, even wearing sunglasses indoors during the day. Even at the grocery store, she couldn't move from the cart without permission. I gotta help her. My artist stopped me, shaking her head. "No, you wait. You can't help someone who doesn't want it. There's a timing for everything." But waiting proved to be unbearable. One evening while I was working late, I watched Brennan through their living room window holding their cat by the neck as it kicked its little white fuzzy feet around helplessly. Angela was on her knees, sobbing, begging him. When he was satisfied, he dropped the cat and watched it limp away. I wanted to run in and help put an end to her misery, but I couldn't. I had to wait for her to come to me. And finally she did. The very next morning when Brennan left for work, Angela stood at her window, looked right at me, and mouthed two words. "Help. Me." I waited for Brennan's car to disappear before running over with mail that had been misdelivered. Angela opened the door, fresh cuts along her cheekbone, purple bruises climbing her neck. "We're leaving. Now." I grabbed her wrist. "He tracks my phone," she whispered, showing me the app. "He'll find me." I smashed her phone against the concrete floor. She gasped. "Go. Find your ID, passport, everything." She nodded and rushed back inside, throwing everything into a bag. Just as we walked out, the garage door opened. Brennan walked in with a dark expression on his face. "What do you think you're doing with my wife?" "Just talking," I said, heart racing as he stepped closer and closer. "No, you're here to help her leave, but she can't. We love each other too much. Isn't that right, sweetie? Now come here. Come to Papa." I held her hand, pulling her behind me so she wouldn't have to look at him. "I see how it is. You know what happens to wives who break their vows, Angela? Run!" We bolted across the yard to my house. Brennan chased us, screaming. I quickly deadbolted my door and called 911 while he tried to break in. "My neighbor is attacking us. Please hurry." "Angela, open up!" Angela cried, covering her ears, crouching down behind the sofa. I went into the kitchen and grabbed a cast iron pan to fight him off. Then the pounding on the door stopped. Angela peeked up above the sofa. "He's gone?" The kitchen window shattered. He climbed through, glass crushing under his boot. He grabbed Angela by the hair. "You made me go through all this trouble." I swung my cast iron pan at his shoulder. He dropped Angela and grabbed my throat. "You want to be part of this?" Police burst through the door just as Angela tried pulling him off me. They tackled him in my hallway. "She's my wife. She belongs to me." He kept screaming even in handcuffs. Turns out, with some investigation, he had 2 other ex-wives with restraining orders. So the judge gave him maximum sentence of 20 years for everything he had done, to protect all other future women. Angela drove out of the city to live with her sister, and I kept their cat.